Our gospel reading today recounts the Annunciation to Mary. It is probably one of the most beloved scenes in the gospel. This intimate moment between Mary and the angel Gabriel, when a young girl said yes to God. We have very much domesticated this scene. Artists have presented the moment in wood and glass paint. Mary is usually portrayed as dressed in yards of silk, golden hair arranged neatly, nails perfectly manicured, and outside of her window is a beautiful garden. It's hard to remember that this is a girl, probably in her early teens, who is troubled by the angel's appearance, or a better translation is probably panic-stricken by the angel's appearance to her. Angels are very popular these days. They are usually pictured as soft, cuddly, and friendly. Yet in the Bible, those visited by angels are not usually thrilled by it. The people of the Bible recognize that when God sent an angel to you, some major rearrangement of your life was in the works. Things were going to get removed rather than less turbulent. To this disturbing announcement of the angel, Mary says, "May it be done to me according to your word." Those few words carry within them a revolutionary significance. With those words, something in the universe shifted gear. With those words, a spark of new light entered our world, as deep within Mary's body, a baby began to form. With those words, a new universe of obedience to God began. Those words are Mary's response to the call and promise of God. They represent willingness to believe what is not immediately apparent, readiness to be used in risky and even painful ways. They represent obedience and surrender. Those words carry within them the seeds of all the joyful mysteries, the luminous mysteries, the sorrowful mysteries, the glorious mysteries of our rosary. The birth, the presentation, the finding, the agony, the scourging, the crucifixion, the resurrection and ascension, Pentecost, and the Assumption. Surrender? Surrender is not a word we like to hear because it sounds weak. But when uttered in response to God, it is heroic. Those words of Mary changed not only Mary's life, but also the life of the world. When we utter those words to God, "I am the servant of the Lord, may it be done to me according to your word," they are also heroic because then we are changed, and so is part of our world changed. We can admire this moment of the Annunciation and reverse it, but what can we learn from it? Is it just about Mary? Or is it also in some profound way about us? Is it also about God and about His call to us? Are we willing to obey God and His call when He comes to us? We may not see a winged archangel in our room coming with a message, but God's call definitely comes in many various ways. Can we say, "I am the servant of the Lord, be it done to me according to your word," when we experience a change in our life, such as an assignment or a job transfer? Can we say, "I am the servant of the Lord, be it done to me according to your word," when a spouse is afflicted with Alzheimer's disease? Can we say, "I am the servant of the Lord, be it done to me according to your word," when we discover that we have cancer? Can we say, "I am the servant of the Lord, be it done to me according to your word," when a family member has problems and turn to us repeatedly and repeatedly for help? Can we say, I am the servant of the Lord, be it done to me according to your word, when the burdens of age start to weaken our bodies? Can we say, I am the servant of the Lord, be it done to me according to your word, when our plans don't come out the way we expect them? Can we say, I am the servant of the Lord, be it done to me according to your word, in a time of change when the church calls us to widen our vision? The Magnificat scene of the Assumption, where Mary consents to God's plan when she submits to a solemn reordering of her life, is about the supernatural conception of Jesus. To limit it to that is to miss an important dimension of the Annunciation that can apply to all of us. It's also about God coming to us, about God's entrance into any human life, not through an angel, but in ways we can perceive, in ways we can comprehend, in ways we can embrace. God indeed comes to us through events, through people, through challenges, through responsibilities, and family. Let us not domesticate the Annunciation and leave it only as a devotional scene with a very pretty scenery. Let us release its power and start to see it as a moment that challenges you and me. Are we willing to surrender to God as Mary did? Are we willing to let God truly be Emmanuel, God with us? In this fourth Sunday of Advent, are we truly prepared for the coming of the Lord? And are we really willing to let God come into our life, especially if He comes with a word of challenge to our lives? Are we really willing to let God come into our life if He comes with a call for us to commit to something? Are we willing to let God come into our life if He comes with a summons to be patient, or to be heroic, or to be cooperative, or perhaps a visionary, or loyal, or perhaps even a call to be more prayerful? Are we ready to surrender to God just as Mary did? We all have lots and lots of plans, don't we, for all of our life. Mary had hers too. But ultimately, there is God's plan for our life, and His plan makes everything that happens to us coherent. Are we then willing to accept God's will as it manifests itself through the commitments, responsibilities, and events of our life? Are we willing to accept God's will as it manifests itself in the teaching of the church, in the words of the Scripture, the call to discipleship throughout the seasons of the liturgical year? Are we willing to say, I am the servant of the Lord, may it be done to me according to your word? If we can, and sometimes it takes a long time to say that and really mean it, then we will really be ready for Christmas, the coming of the Lord into our life, making your life, making my life, not just a series of personal plans, but a dwelling place of light, of love, and His divine will. I am the servant of the Lord. May it be done to me according to your word. Can we truly, honestly, and sincerely respond just like Mary did? This is Mary's key to the tremendous peace of Christmas. And I know you will agree with me if I say that we all want peace. Peace in our minds, peace in our hearts, peace in our family, peace in our homes, peace in our world. this troubled, noisy world. Peace when we open our eyes before we get distracted by the world. Peace when you get to church and you want to pray. Peace when you're about to go in surgery. Peace when you're about to see family. Is that peace? It's still available to us? It is. May we respond just like Mary, and let us turn to our mother to give us the strength and the humility to respond just like she did. I am the servant of the Lord. May it be done to me according to your word. Amen.